This is Anti-Imperialist Front TV news for the week ending April 5th, 2025. Indefinite hunger strikes continue in the prisons of Turkey. Fikret Akar started an indefinite hunger strike on March 30th, protesting against the well-type isolation prisons in Turkey. Fikret Akar, a prisoner himself in Çorlu Tekirdağ, said he would escalate his protest into a thirst strike if prison administrations continued to deny sugar and vitamins to hunger strike participants. Solidarity protests took place this week in Europe, notably in Cologne, Germany, and in Brussels, Belgium. A protest in Trafalgar Square, central London, was held on April 5th. A banner was opened with the legend, "Close solitary-type prisons in Turkey. Long live our hunger strike resistance. Revolutionary prisoners are our honour." Sweets with sugar content and vitamin B1 were sent by various individuals and groups in Europe. Since 30th of March, a chain of solidarity hunger strikes and support actions are ongoing. For example, 4 people from the Flemish revolutionary organisation Zannekenbond joined a solidarity hunger strike and also sent sweets and a solidarity letter. Comrade Malahov in Belarus announced a one-day hunger strike for April 8th. He also sent a TikTok video in Russian describing Fikret Akar's struggle against the reactionary government of Erdogan and the isolation prisons of Turkey and the resistance of revolutionaries in Turkey more generally. Fikret Akar's wife sent candies to the prison and held a 7-day hunger strike. Gefangeneninfo, Prisoners Info, in Berlin sent a solidarity package. Yoram Cultural House in Berlin sent vitamin B1. Candies and vitamins were sent by the People's Front in Scandinavia. Nadezhda from AIF Belarus sent traditional Belarus sweets. Former political prisoner Sonur Demiray sent sweets from Germany. Sweets were sent to Fikret Akar from Barcelona. From the UK, 450 B1 vitamins were sent. Sevgi from Switzerland sent sweets. Children in Switzerland called for sweets to be sent to Uncle Fikret. Secours Rouge or Red Aid from Marseille sent sweets. Halkmer, a Turkish democratic organisation in Belgium, sent candies. The All-African People's Revolutionary Party in Germany sent sweets. Candies were sent by the Freedom Initiative for Political Prisoners and the Resistance Council in Austria. Over April 4 and April 5th, protests took place against NATO on the anniversary of NATO's founding. A protest was held outside the London Embassy of the USA. 2 banners were displayed there. Zionism in Palestine, fascism in Turkey, and US-EU imperialism will be defeated. People's resistance will win. Long live international solidarity. And 75 years of NATO, Yugoslavia, Somalia, Yemen, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria. Organize and act on 4th April and tell them enough is enough. NATO means war and exploitation. A placard was left announcing that those who don't surrender can't be defeated. It was noticeable that the RCG, Revolutionary Communist Group, had a protest tent specifically for Palestine in front of the US Embassy. They said they had kept their protest going day and night for 7 months. Elsewhere, an anti-NATO protest took place in Brussels, which is the site of NATO headquarters. A NATO flag was burned as part of a protest in Portugalete near Bilbao, Basque Country, on April 5th. Comrade Halimatu from the All-African Revolutionary People's Party sent a video message for the international campaign against NATO. An online roundtable was held in Minsk, Belarus, in which NATO aggression against various countries was discussed. About 20 participants took part from Belarus, Russia, Latvia, and Artsakh. Alexei Albo of the organization Borotba sent a video message from Donbass in which he examined the history of NATO. If there is no threat to imperialism, why does NATO exist, he asked. The answer was that there was growing resistance to imperialism. He stated that the only imperialist centre is the USA, despite attempts to brand Russia and other countries as imperialist. He noted that NATO and imperialists generally are well organised. Anti-imperialists are not, and this is a weakness we must address. An anti-NATO conference was held in the southern French city of Marseille on April 4th. And in Athens, Greece, there was an anti-NATO rally in 1st of May Square, and a banner was hung in the Athens Polytechnic. Towards the end of March, an anti-NATO event was held by Serbs living in the Austrian capital Vienna, protesting the NATO attack on their country a quarter of a century ago. On March 23rd, a Red Crescent convoy was attacked by Israelis in Gaza, and its workers were killed. Zionists made attempts to cover up and then lie about the event, which resulted in the murder of 15 Palestinian paramedics and healthcare workers. On April 6th, the Israelis said their previous account of events was incorrect. Whether they will get around to admitting to deliberate murder, we will see. Israeli airstrikes have also hit the Dar al-Arqam school in Gaza, killing at least 29 people, 18 of them children. The second International Law Symposium in memory of people's lawyer Ebru Timtik, with the topic Imperialism and Law, took place on April 5th and 6th in Athens, Greece. The symposiums look at the effects of imperialism and so-called anti-terrorism laws on civil liberties and the anti-imperialist struggle. A full report of the symposium will be carried in next week's news. And that is Anti-Imperialist Front TV news for this week. For news outside the mainstream, follow us on social media. See you next week.